Welcome everyone to the Marsh Family Retrospective of 2021. 12 questions, 2 questions each. 12, got it? With us? Sharp, Ella, good stuff. So, who was January, February? We're going to work our way through the year. We're going to have a bit of a chat. We're going to think about highlights, lowlights. Who was January and February?
Me!
And the first question is...
Was it a harder or easier job to put together under pressure?
I think it was a harder job, even with all the new equipment, which helped a lot. It would have been harder if we didn't have the equipment, but I will think it was a harder job because it was like one of our first times having to record all the singing separately and then have to do the video and all the instruments.
I think it was also the clips. Dad had to do a lot of editing to get in clips and add music and record each part.
Yeah, I basically missed New Year's Eve.
Yeah, no, and it was also the fact that I remember Dad just howling from the office whenever like he would be editing it and then one bit would shift slightly out of place on the edit and you had to move the whole of it every time you
So
had
for me,
something.
it was harder.
What made it harder is because normally in a song where we just kind of record it in one go, there are a couple of mistakes, but because you could do it without mistakes, you're such a perfectionist that every single line has to be perfect, so it takes way longer. It sounds way better.
It plays into Daddy's absolute perfectionist
OCD.
You sang one in your straight from the oven face look.
Yes, I was really, really red because I'd just been cooking. And then the next
Like that. Put down the pipe. Then come back again.
wearing your hoodie.
The problem was that because Dad was like, it was individually we go in and I'd play cornet and I'd sing and we'd do it individually like we did originally to record Bring Us a Candle, but he would be there and rather than if we were doing it as a family we'd kind of take if someone got a couple of bad lines wrong we'd just take it if the whole thing was good from quite a lot of people, but because it was individual it had to be perfect because it was like individual work. So with Dad he would just be there and if the note like a tiny bit of it split he'd be like, no, do it again.
He goes, I liked it,
But it needs to be better. Yeah.
Now we've got the freebie.
It's Queen and David Bowie.
Yeah,
And
let's do it justice.
To be fair, it was a tall order.
There was one bit when we had to get the dog involved. Who helped me try and get a howl?
It was me and Alfie originally, and then I gave up.
No.
It was me.
And then
It was Ella.
But we found the footage.
We were looking
we
at
had
and
to
then
find
you
the
got
footage.
bored.
I
got
just
very
did it
bored.
instantly.
Yeah.
Why did we write and sing the most songs in the first 2 months of the year?
Well, when you say sing the most songs, what did we actually have down for those months? Under Pressure, Have the New Jab, Totally Fix Where We Are,
100%.
The Buy-In Needs Tonight, and We're Not Singing Sea Shanties by the end of February 2021.
I have an answer.
Yes, Danny, what's the answer?
National UK lockdown.
We had
None of you
nothing
were at school.
else. Oh, you were working though, weren't you?
Yeah, we had online.
Yeah, but even then,
dragged out
because our
the students
timetables
like-
got cut, so even if we had lessons, normally we would have had doubles, but because it would be, it's trying to have double maths in the classroom, but if you had had double maths over
That's cruel.
a screen,
Actual cruelty.
when you're the only person with your camera on in the Zoom meet and everyone else is going, oh, my mic doesn't work, and they're evidently just gone off and played on their phone.
And I think Have the New Jab kicked everything off again, didn't
What
it,
was
in
that?
January?
That was January.
That right.
That
But
was,
that was just us three.
because if you remember, we were going to sing a version of Oklahoma. That was the plan for the beginning of January. And Daddy went off to his bath and came back and said, I've got this song. And then we all sang through it a couple of times and went, oh, I'm not sure
We
this
were also
is
going to
too
do
happy
that.
for where we are now in January.
We were also going to do that Jack Beanstalk Into the Woods where it's your fault.
Oh, it's your fault, yes.
That was
really.
2020 though, wasn't it?
No, that was a bit early.
Sadly
It's
not.
because we were trying to find a song and then Mum like running.
But yeah.
And you already sang Hallelujah before.
Yeah, we did it in the choir.
Hallelujah.
We used to sing
What
it.
did I sing?
Hallelujah.
We used to sing it every year in the choir.
But yeah, I think our channel was doing better at this point as well. I mean, it's doing well now, but along with Hallelujah, it's because I think we got boosted up the algorithm because we were actually posting videos once every couple.
What does that mean?
It means I don't know exactly what it means.
What?
We,
I think
Which crap is
It's
this?
just like, it feels like something I could say, like if you don't
we came up.
get out of bed, I'm going to boost you up your
I
algorithm.
think it all gives you more.
No, it means that you
Money.
come up on more people's.
So,
because
I don't know
you're
what it
posting,
means. You
because
don't
you're
know.
posting
No, I
more
don't know.
and you've got lots of people looking at it. You are more recent. So on lots of people's YouTube For You pages, they might be shown. You know, when you go on YouTube and it says,
But because we
"You'll
had,
like this,"
just like we had nothing else to do, so people around the world also had nothing to do, and I think that the two kind of coincided. The people started watching and responding and being very excited about,
I
or
think
being very angry about some of the songs.
The reason that we sang and did more and got more followers in that specific 2-month period was because we were recording lots, because we were in lockdown.
And they were pretty brilliant songs, I have to say. Have the New Jab, original sea shanties, totally fixed where we are. Under Pressure and Viennese Tonight, which were actually...
Yeah.
Tess, what's an algorithm?
No idea.
I think it's got something to do with computer science. I knew
An algorithm
it
doesn't
No, it's witchcraft and wizardry. So to sum that up then, I think the first opening months of 2021 were rich
Really
pickings in
successful,
terms
yeah.
of what we had to write about. We were all in one place and there was an audience of people who were looking to be distracted, and those things came together in a strange alchemy.
What's alchemy, Tess?
No idea.
I know what I do know what alchemy is actually.
Question 1. What was the funniest outtake?
What was
Videos.
what was our funniest?
Oh, of the
Outtake.
actual year of
All of our
outtake.
There were
videos.
lots.
That is a tough one.
That is a tricky
My
question.
favourite, I have lots of favourites, but my favourite wasn't of me, it was actually of Tess in the Have the New Jab. There were like several in the Have the New Jab video. There was one where you tried to sing a line and you went like, and you couldn't sing
Oh no,
it.
yeah, that was probably
Hiccup.
Pity pull mine.
And I just love the one where you went, so there. And then you just stopped. That was my favourite one.
My personal favourite is also of Tess, and it's in the. This is kind of a running thing, but my favourite one was in the. Oh god,
You are not alive.
I'm not with it.
You just reminded me of my favourite one.
Oh,
My favourite one is when we were singing
You're seeing a
for
message.
the wedding.
A
It
Million
was a
Dreams.
message, A Million Dreams, and we got to the end of it, and it's not actually Alfie forgetting the words that because we all had a line that we were going to say to Charlotte, to Sage and Sydney, and it's watching Alfie's face in the outtake when he realises he's forgotten the line.
Twice.
Like halfway through and people have been singing the lines, you'll see Alfie just go.
No, my favourite, I think, of all of them is we were recording possibly Under Pressure, the bit where we're all stood together and Alfie gets really cross, and then I say it, I think it's probably me shouting at you, and you go, no, actually, Mum, the headphones switched on halfway through and someone started
No, that
talking
was
to me in no
Christmas
reason.
time.
Mum.
Yeah.
Babbling away and all
Babbling away, and then Monty came and sat on my butt, and you were absolutely outraged.
My favourite outtake was the one of when we were singing We're Not Singing Sea Shanties, that's hard to say. There were actually a couple, so one of them was the one with Monty where he howls and sits and then jumps up at Mum. And the other one is where Dad gets a frog or something bigger in his throat and then he missed the cowbell.
And the killer bees.
Oh yeah, I'd rather be killed by a killer bee. That one. Question 4. What was the most exciting thing about Comic Relief?
The most
Being out of the house, getting a taxi.
Free drinks for you, wasn't it?
Richard Curtis and Emma Freud coming to watch us.
Rag and Bowman.
Yeah, that was cool, but they missed Richard Curtis.
We missed
and Emma
Richard
Freud.
Curtis. Why did we miss Richard Curtis and Emma Freud?
Because we had just done the rehearsal, the sound check, and we were going, and then I needed the toilet, so Dad and I had to
Why
leave.
did you need the toilet?
Because I had like 5 teas.
Why did you have 5 teas?
Because
She was excited.
I wanted
She's
to, and
British.
I
She could drink
decided
tea.
that.
Because
we
teas
could have it
were
for
free.
Yes, this
And
is true.
she can't be bothered.
Like a
making
lovely
it.
lady would come round and said, any drinks? And I would always go,
Whereas-
My favourite bit was when we actually got to watch it on telly. Like, because the day itself was quite stressful,
Yeah.
and making sure everyone was going to
No,
be
it was the day we
okay.
got home, wasn't it?
Yeah.
we got home the same day.
Yeah.
So
But once
Yeah.
we got home and we knew everything was done, that was
Yeah,
and we could just
the,
watch it, and then it felt like an out of body experience because they were like,
And-
"There's this family from Faversham." It was like,
the intro that we had no idea that they were going
yeah.
to do.
And then
That was
we all
really
sat there and we watched it, and then all of our phones individually all started bouncing around the table, and people were like,
it was like Poltergeist.
and we were like, oh, we got a takeaway, didn't we? We sat around just that felt like like we were in a totally different world from the rest of the country.
I just enjoyed being able to wear pyjamas through the whole day because then when we got back, we didn't have to change. We could just kind of go like,
we got to keep
I can sleep here.
We did get to keep the pyjamas and the dressing
You
gowns.
wear £70 pyjamas.
I know, most expensive pyjamas I've ever had.
At the time, I thought him and me.
made my hair static and that annoyed me.
Yeah.
I can't wear it.
But there was lovely hair and makeup. Like that was nice.
You spent an hour in there.
I
We were
needed
like
it.
5
I needed
minutes.
Like you
No,
don't.
she spent ages in the morning going, you can't leave until I've got my hair, and then she's like, take it all off.
They didn't take it off. They just added to it with a trowel.
They straightened your hair and then
team of
curled it.
plasterers saying, you'll be fine.
And then if you squint and stand a long way away from the screen. Yeah, no, the whole day though was properly cool. Like that was.
I'm coming back to my TV point, but we didn't know what else was on the programme. We'd just been obsessed about us and making sure we didn't mess it up.
Yeah.
And then we had people like
Chris Martin starts off.
Coldplay and Idris Elba doing a chat beforehand, and they were singing
James Corden and
they were
like all of
singing,
these.
Total Eclipse, like as a build-up. It was insane.
That was bizarre.
Yeah.
That was so,
So,
we weren't
yeah.
And you like, it was like on a Zoom, and then
Yeah.
one of them
That
joined and
jump
was playing
on.
the guitar. And
But that's what I think. Regardless of what when you take away everything else, there are certain points that will always stick. That will always be there. That
No,
we
but
can
it's
always
the
look
fact-
back on and go,
it's the
that
fact-
was a cool thing.
It's the
to
fact
have
that
done."
you could think that they must have all heard that they had to do like an intro or.
Why are you doing
intro
this?
Yeah,
Because
why
we've
that
got
song?
that family singing.
They'd obviously, so all of those celebrities have heard of at least our name,
Yeah.
if not more.
And obviously we raised a lot of money for charities.
Oh, yeah,
that
Yeah, that was what.
Okay, next question.
That's
Who's
Who's
next?
April. That's not me.
No, it's May and
May and June.
I was
Question
March,
number
April.
5.
May and June.
You're May and June. Sorry. Right. Okay. Okay. So, in some hobby that I used to know, how difficult was the head choreography, and why did Mum look so scary?
Well, then,
Good question. It's a two-parter, really.
It was a light.
intertwined.
It was a light on her face. I think it just made. I almost put myself.
And also the fact that she was like,
Yeah, she was.
I kept missing
was
the
on her
tense.
face.
That is just my basic.
That was- that was-
No, because it was a light and you were really pale and you were like.
It was. I don't know how
You
hard.
look stern, though.
I was stern. You
You probably
said
just got
that we all needed to be quite because the original video,
said
the
to be
original
straight
go-to
face.
video,
Yeah.
which was really cool, is all quite jerky.
No, I know,
movements.
but we all were straight-faced, but she looked like a psycho.
yeah, she looked like she was going to kill the person
Yeah.
outside of the camera.
the head movements are quite complicated, and there were bits where, like in outtakes, I would nudge her and say,
Like, yeah, because you
That-
ended up turning
I know.
together, didn't you?
And
That's not in an outtake, that's in the
That's
actual
in the
song.
actual thing.
There's a bit where you look across to Ella,
And
you're
Thomas
like,
and Ella are on the same turn.
and Ella just ignores you.
and it's like really hard not to laugh when you actually end up looking at one another.
No, because I gone diagonally.
Yeah, but
and I was
Alfie,
like,
remember the first time we did it, and Alfie didn't understand that you didn't have to turn your head on every beat.
No,
so
I
he
didn't.
was
No, that was me. That was
We're
me.
like eight.
Both of them-
I came
both
up
of
with
them
the
in the
idea
song.
of it all.
Yeah, you
It
did.
was both of them in the song that the then they were going.
It's like it's one of the only things I
Wait,
He did.
Somebody had an idea of everybody looking down.
That was me.
Okay, that was different.
No, and then he said we can all turn heads. It was Alfie. I'm giving him this. I'm giving him.
Round of applause for Alfie.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it was also quite complicated because Dad said that after Alfie had suggested it, of course, that the boys had to move on to move their heads on
2 and 4,
beat
we had
2
to
and
keep
4.
on
We had to move on 1 and 3.
Yeah.
It was very
And I had
complicated.
an apple in my teeth.
Oh, yeah, you spent the whole time with that.
If I'd known that, we would have probably had to do it again.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah,
was
you
so
did that for ages.
exhausted
I didn't-
because that
I didn't
day,
notice I was doing it. I saw her afterwards.
that day, Alfie and I, which is why Mummy looks one way, but you and I looked massively sunburned because we'd done a 50 over cricket
Cricket
match
game,
now.
yeah.
Yeah, we only had like an hour or something to do it, didn't we? So many of the videos we've done, we've literally gone at the end of the day, look, we either do it now or we're not going to have time to do it. And then we have like sort of an hour and it's whatever comes out at the end of that hour. That's why the ones like Under Pressure were so different.
I think over time all of us gave up on Joe Wicks each morning.
That's
I never did Joe Wicks.
probably true. Not Joe Wicks' fault. It's just exercise is hard to
Just we're
sustain over a long
lazy.
period, like a diet.
There's one hobby that I actually haven't lost.
Oh,
I've been
Duolingo.
doing. Yep, Duolingo. That Ella has actually started building up on streak on as
Stop.
well.
I'm in the top 3% of the language.
She's like 300 days in.
Right, question number 6.
Okay, so which song out of those couple of months had the best lyrics? That is Sipping Through Their Fingers, The COVID Cave, and Some Hobby That I Used to Know.
Oh, well, the stepping to your
Stepping
fingers
to
and
your
power and
fingers.
stuff.
Yeah,
it has to.
I try to judge my babies.
Well, if we were, it's slipping through my fingers. That was
it's
absolutely
favourite
No,
child.
because think about it. COVID Cave was good, but it wasn't as like a song. It was more musical. We used more instruments. It was like a more instrumental. We sat around there, and it was kind of a different song, and there weren't as many words to change. But we had basically 2 songs.
I think their facial expressions.
Yeah,
don't
I think
we
you
changed
changed
the words
everything
of
with
some
my
of
hobby.
I just
So
think
we had 2 songs to change with.
Oh yeah, that's
Exactly,
longer,
that's what I'm
but
saying.
it's not like we
You're not
sang
going. Well, I'm talking.
I just think as a parody, Sipping Through Their Fingers and Father and Sons worked so well with the theme of being drunk. I think the lyrics just
Yeah,
worked.
it wasn't
They were
just
just
a-
very funny.
It wasn't just a parody, it was also a mashup of 2 songs that fitted together but had never fitted together like that before.
And you
Yeah.
also wanted to pretend to be drunk because you couldn't get drunk with your friends.
No, I think it
because
was
we never do that. It was
never
all
ever, it
imagined.
was all acting.
You don't have friends.
And it was also because, I think we said, at that point in time, everybody kept saying, oh, this time next year we're going to have the biggest party. And everybody was just so ready for everything to be over. It was,
Also, that was the one where Thomas had his dodgy eyebrow, wasn't it?
Yeah, Doug got
And then
a
I
random
got-
zoom in of my eye because he wanted to show that.
Oh, yeah, when you napped your eye.
And then I got a load of stick for my eyebrows.
Because they thought you'd they thought you'd shaved
like,
your
"Oh,
I
eyebrows.
shaved mine off.
Alfie's such a good brother because he shaved his eyebrows.
That's just your
It's just my
eyebrow.
eyebrows.
Why does your eyebrow lose hair?
It doesn't.
No,
It's
it's just
just
part of
got
it's
blonde
quite
hair.
blonde.
Yeah, it thins into like a
I've got
blonde
like brown
hair
hair and
instead.
blonde hair. So it, like from a distance. It
From
looks
a
like
distance.
But Thomas's has definitely faded a bit. But yeah, it did look pretty unpleasant
Yeah,
when we filmed
I
that.
used to like when I raised my eyebrows. It used to be like curved, but now it does like a double curve. It goes like. like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your cartoon character.
So
It does have one of my favourite of all of the lines, which is Cinderella. Can anyone remember it?
she left the house.
She left the house like Cinderella, came back, cave dweller.
Yeah.
That was a very
I
long.
love that one.
Okay, so next August and September.
No,
That's-
July and August.
So it's Alfie, July and August. Question number 7.
So this question's just a bit more general, kind of moving a bit away from the music. So what was your favourite part of July and August 2021?
I think it was because it was the summer holidays
Yeah,
and we went to Shetlands
And Dad was starting to write Bring Us a Candle. He was
In
busy with
August,
that.
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and we went to Shetland for 2 weeks and then we went to our grandparents' house.
Yeah, we don't need to describe our whole
A while.
summer.
Yeah, we don't need your life story.
Yeah, we started talking about if we wanted to give up doing it, and that's why we didn't do. Because we said we didn't want to write any more about COVID because we thought it was going. We jinxed it.
I don't think that's our fault.
Yeah.
Sorry
No
about
one
that.
ever knows.
And this was when we, of course, slipped down the algorithm, which I know what that means.
And it was quite fun to, although some people didn't like it at different points, to rehearse at night times and over dinner and do a sing-song. So, do a sing-song. So yeah, I think part of it was that we missed doing it and we really enjoyed kind of the nice comments that came through and how people said they didn't want us to stop, they wanted us to do more. So I think we also felt quite guilty if we'd stopped because for the people that watched us and appreciate us.
We went to a music festival as well, didn't we? When was that? In August?
Yeah,
Start
late
of
August.
That's when we had
Late
a
August.
store.
And that was, for me, that was quite because we were seeing loads of like local bands, people
Someone
performing.
recognised us there as well.
No, it was that suddenly we. The
New Day Festival. What other festivals have we been to?
Yeah.
But it made me think. Actually, I could imagine us doing that for the first time, in a way, like
With all the hippies. Sorry,
or
continue.
just being in the beer tent
Yeah.
and the other tents.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think another reason we carried on is because it's not just for us, Like we like making people laugh and sometimes cry, and it's just a really nice thing to do to help people.
Yeah, and I think that it's become, weirdly, for all of us, a bit of a coping mechanism. So when things come about that are interesting or funny or scary or bizarre, having a way of dealing with it, like singing a song, feels kind of a positive way of talking about it or thinking about it or just kind of moving forward. And yeah, it felt a little bit like we'd lost that sort of safety blanket if we stopped singing.
Just keep singing. Swing, swing, singing. Swing, swing, swinging.
No, swinging.
What does that
mean? Yeah. So yeah, but we weren't really sure what we were going to keep singing.
Well, we don't know what's going to happen.
No.
Yeah.
Like, we're like, is anyone going to care? And does it matter? If it doesn't matter, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah, then we might as well keep singing.
That's deep.
Yeah.
If it doesn't matter.
If a tree falls in the forest
There's a
and
French
nobody
phrase for
listens
that.
to it.
So my second question is, what happened to Lockdown World, which was one of our only songs that we actually did over July and August?
That had to get.
To our version of Uptown Girl,
Yes.
which is the first one with Boo in it.
Yeah.
It was our
Yeah.
puppy reveal.
It was watched 250,000 times and then we took it down.
No, because we always ask the publishers who own the rights to music if it's okay to use the music, and in this case, which is quite unusual, they responded for one thing, and more than that, they actually responded and said, "Please, can you take that down?" So, unfortunately, because a few people have said, "I really like that one because it's got the rhyme, the concubine rhyme."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's why.
That sounds a bit weird out of context.
Yeah.
What was it?
It
was because
Even cheaters can meet concubines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even she, I sang that.
Come on then, sing it.
Can me.
Hey, let me sing it. No, it's, and even cheaters can meet concubines.
No, that was when Matt Hancock was still.
Cheating with.
That actually making Lockdown World, we had microphone proximity gate, didn't we? Do you remember? Ella and I had an issue.
An issue with you.
Ella had an issue with me.
Yeah.
Can you remember that?
Yeah.
It was about how close she was to the microphone.
Yeah.
Why was that a problem?
Because I don't like singing into the mic.
What are you going to say you don't like singing?
We also filmed it in the hall because we'd literally run out of parts of the house to film in that we were willing to
No, but it's
record
because
in.
we
And
had to shut Boo in and we wanted to do a big reveal, so we stood there.
we also thought it was a sign that we were going out the front door and it was all over.
We just need to find one in the toilet now. That's the only way we've
We
got.
can't fit.
Film Daddy in the bath creating the next kind of song.
Making.
Yeah, but I think in that song we did say, or when it was on, we said this was the last one about the pandemic that we were going to do, which we thought we were going to, because we thought it was going to be over.
Yeah.
Question number 9. What was it like recording vocals in the boys' room for Bring Us a Candle and Mack the Knife?
So we originally recorded them downstairs in our music room, which used to be our dining room, and we were fairly happy with how it sounded, but the surfaces and the walls were all very hard. So Dad did some research about properly making songs, and apparently you have to have soft surfaces so that the sound doesn't echo back.
So we did
So-
blankets.
Yes,
Okay.
we had blankets and stuff draped around to make it the best room.
Which was a nightmare because
We couldn't go in our
We
room.
couldn't go in our room basically, and then Mum would complain when there were blankets all over the floor.
Yeah,
And we
it's not our
couldn't do anything about that.
But then Daddy would go and sit in there and sort of call somebody in, and then it was like they would go to their
Solemn
fates,
march.
like
I know.
It's like
I'm
gladiator.
just saying, I was brilliant during that. I was funny, I was upbeat.
Is now.
Recording Mack the Knife, there was quite a funny bit that we actually used in the song. It was an outtake of an actual line much earlier on in the song, and I was too close to the microphone and I smacked my chin on it, and then I laughed. And then Dad cut the laugh and put it to the end of the song. So the little laugh that I had to record on the thing, I had to fake laughing because I'd smacked my chin.
But it was also, we originally recorded Bring Us a Candle and started to a draft in the music room, but then we had to redo it. But that's when the outtakes came, when Tess, there was a funny outtake where she couldn't reach a note and then it cracked and we were
Oh yes.
That was something that was quite entertaining to listen to as well. Just when Thomas and I were lying in bed, and whether it was downstairs or upstairs, you just heard whatever Mum or Dad tried to do their lines, and occasionally you just hear some form of terrible voice crack. While they were.
Well, that's it,
I
'cause you're
know,
not.
but Dad was saying like on a Bring Us a Candle bit, never looking back. I had to do it in my head voice because I couldn't reach the note in my chest voice, and he asked me to try in my chest voice, and it was not pretty.
Hey, at least you didn't do it on live TV. So bring a little cheer.
Bring a little cheer. No, but the problem was, particularly with Mack the Knife, that once we actually got permissions through, because that was really coming down to the wire, are we going to be allowed to use the song? And then we realised we only had one evening to record the whole thing because it needed to go off to the studio and everything else. So at sort of 8 o'clock one night, it was like, right, come on everybody, we've got to do this. And yeah, we didn't have, as again, with most things, we don't have enough time to keep coming back 15 times and waiting till everyone's in the right mood, so you just have to do it.
Right.
To stage.
Second question.
You hungry?
Yes, but dinner.
It's 5:30.
Question 10. What's it like to sing with a puppet?
It's very difficult when you've got dogs.
Yes.
Monty especially, but
Countless
Boo also
outtakes of
now.
Monty being licked whilst holding a puppet.
The hardest one actually, even though it's not the only one we got puppets in, it was because on the 12 days of Christmas, all three of us were, Alfie, Dad and I, we were all behind the sofa with 2 different puppets and Monty coming in and out. And yeah, it was just an absolute nightmare because Monty loves eating puppets.
Yeah, but I think Daddy has a major problem with recording with puppets.
It
Which is
voice
what it
as
does to
well.
your
Yeah.
voice.
Can you do the voice now?
Of Ori.
Do Ori.
Who's
He's doing that Ori Ori.
But then there are certain people I know of who would love the puppets to be the only thing that's on the screen, so they tend to be children.
We're very ugly.
Yeah, we could all hide behind the sofa and just leave the puppets on it. That would probably be ideal.
Right.
And yours had a weird Russian voice when you did yours.
Yeah, what was the other one
Oh, yeah,
called?
Sloven.
I said Slaven, but you thought I said like slob or something.
So you called him Slob on the lyrics. Like
something
it
like
says like Tess, Slob.
It just sounded a bit derogatory. Like
Yeah.
Russian.
Calling you a slob.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just a bit rude.
Okay, November and December.
Oh, it's me. Okay, I've got. What were the best and worst parts of making Bring Us a Candle?
Snow machine.
Snow
That's the
machine.
worst.
Yeah.
I mean both.
I think that's my favourite bit on the video, is when Tess gets a mouthful of fake snow.
I know, it tasted like soap.
Yeah,
Pretty much
it
was
was
so.
like foam or something.
How
it
have you
was
told us it would
salty
taste
foam.
salty?
Well, no, that's
did.
because
Because
we've
we watched
been
Lord of the
watching.
Rings.
Watching too many making of film
Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So,
they're
and then in the Lord of the
just
Rings ones, it was salty,
Salty
so I was
stuff, yeah.
expecting it was going to be salty.
It really wasn't.
I wasn't expecting to eat it.
No.
I mean, there was a lot of wind
Yeah,
and
it
it
was
just
at the
sort of
beginning.
came
It
with
just
our
went-
faces.
My hair
We
was
it was
got
the
soap.
It was when they were first trying to do it and they put it at one side.
Yeah, that's right.
And it just extended from down one
I mean,
side.
It was just like the shield. It
Yeah,
was a shield.
5 normal people and then Michelin Man. on one
But
side.
it doesn't melt as well, so it just sat on your hair like
And on your eyelids
as
as
well.
well.
When it hit, it was like.
Yeah. Yeah.
But actually, it looked really good in the
It
video.
did,
Like,
Yeah,
it looked
there were a few
properly.
bits that we thought would look like so-so,
No, but
then
it's
ended up with
the way.
So on this question of Bring Us a Candle, my favourite bit was because there was someone else involved in the mix, because it's quite stressful deciding what instrument should be louder, what voices should be louder. So I loved getting it back from Jez at Skyline Studios, and the email pinged in and go, here's version 2, here's version 3, and it was it's like unwrapping a Christmas present. It was really exciting to put the headphones on and then hear it. It's got a bit better, and some bits like more in the foreground of the song.
You spent about 4 hours trying to find a noise that went boo. I seem to remember.
Yeah, and it didn't even
And it
make
didn't even make it into the car. But
No,
if you
it
played
was
your
reverse
I
signal.
want a noise that makes it
Yeah.
sound like it's
Implosion.
like, yeah, and you were going, is it like that sound when they put on a massive bomb going off? It was really weird.
No,
You
no,
spent hours doing it.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was the one from when they go to hyperspace in Star Trek, the like mixed with a symbol, and I had a vision in my head, and eventually I got it. I sent Jez about 5 different versions, and it came back and was like, no, I didn't think that was very good.
No.
Okay.
No.
But like having another voice in that room was really nice.
I really enjoyed the photo shoot as well before that. That was a really fun experience. And again, I feel like if we'd done Mack the Knife first, it would have been very different. But yeah, I think that was also.
Is that just because you're vain?
No, I know what you mean. It's like everything we've done.
Oh, I thought you meant like a vein in my head or something. Oh, no.
Everything we've done in the past 3 months has felt like an experiment to see if it's something that we enjoy doing, and pretty much everything has been a positive, whether it was the photo shoot or whether it was doing the recording here or doing the video or going to do the Mack the Knife thing or doing the text.
My favourite bit of the photo shoot was watching Mum's bags become disasters. She packed a costume change for each of us in
5 outfits for everybody
in like the right
same
colour
colour
schemes,
palette.
and we all took these bags up 27 flights of stairs. It was probably
I took that
but it felt like 27. And then we got there, we got into this tiny little dressing room all clustered together, put some music on to try and get us in the mood, and then within about 3 minutes all the bags were completely open, all the clothes were on the floor.
No one could find
You
them.
were like, I'm going to have photos taken of me, I don't want it really cross in all of the photos.
Yeah.
You're like, and now, next one of those.
Yeah, that was
now.
yeah, all those things that seem really straightforward, and someone just goes, yeah, you just need to have, everyone needs a Christmas jumper, which you've got to find in October when there's no Christmas jumpers anywhere. I mean, obviously I was successful.
No, the one I used I had to borrow from friends down the road.
Yeah, but that's pretty much the only one I found, and Daddy wouldn't wear
This is
it.
Dad's one, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so last question.
Question 12.
Question 12. Okay, so I suppose following on from that, what are you proudest of when it comes to what we've done, and particularly releasing a single or a double-sided single? Wow, tumbleweed moment. Tess, what are you proudest of?
I'm proudest of Bring Us a Candle because it was like one of the first songs that we've written ourselves, and like it was the first song that we've written ourselves. That's actually been released, and
That wasn't yet.
and we filmed it and we recorded it, and it just ended up very good, and I'm very proud of it because I
enjoyed the Mack the Knife, not only because it was a campaign for Prostate Cancer UK and because we've had experiences with that in our family, but also because we got to see Gran and Grandad there. We got like someone else. It felt more, in a way, more exciting because we were out of the house and we met Gran and Grandad there, and it was very exciting. We got hot chocolates when we wanted them. And
Also very entertaining to watch Grandad have 27 takes of tapping his foot.
We nailed
Yeah.
it's put like a blanket down when he was walking
Yeah,
over.
because you just kept going.
Yeah, and then when he was at the bar, he'd just go and couldn't stand still. He'd just clip his shoes.
You can never stand still at the bar.
Yeah, no, I was proud that I actually had some expressions and emotions in like how it came out in the video. Like at the time I was like normal, but
Which is you think you're being really
I mean also
expressive,
I'm really proud of all you guys and the kind of impact we've made in terms of charity and stuff.
Aww.
But yeah, I was most proud that I didn't dead in the video.
Yeah, I'm proud of these guys, I think. I think.
I think, yeah.
So far.
Most of the time.
Yeah, but this
Most of the time.
Yeah.
No, you've done a pretty good job.
It's alright.
It's alright.
I think, I'm really proud of the quality of the stuff that we produced. I'm really proud that we actually produced a Christmas song that was about this Christmas, not about every other Christmas that people fantasise about that isn't ever a reality, and there's no mention of tinsel, which I frankly hate. And this is particularly a COVID Christmas song. I'm really proud of that. But I think overall, when you wrote up that list of the songs we've done this year, I'm massively proud of all the things that we've managed
But
to
it's
do.
also the fact that we can always look back on the Bring Us a Candle song and kind of connect it back to what it has been like these Christmases, these past two. Because, like, no matter where the song goes or what happens with it in future years or this year, we'll always have that song, and we'll always know that we've made it and produced a music video, and remember, even when we're old and dying, that we've made the song.
I know what you did. I'm not sure about the old and dying bit,
It's Boot. Yeah. Hello, Boot. No, I think we need to be proud of what we've achieved.
I said something. I did. I said that about Grandad.
Yeah, you did.
I did. Good job.
Yeah,
Good
stop
job.
doubting me.
Have a great day.
Have a
That's
great
just so you
day.
know.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, that's what you should end with.
Have a great day.
Right, we're going to get a takeaway then.
Yeah! Yay!
I'm so
Oh, in more.